Hi everyone, it's your host, the Snack Gladiator. And today, I got two amazing treats to compare. We have the famous, the OG Rice Krispies. And if you happen to pop into 7-Eleven, you might notice a little bit of competition, a little bit of friction. We have the 7-Eleven. They call it the Crispy Rice Treat Bar. So it's not a Rice Krispie. Don't make that kind of mistake. It's a Crispy Rice Treat Bar. Totally different, not even close to being the same thing. But who is the champion? The Kellogg's Rice Krispie Treat or the original? What do they call it? Original. It's not original. The 7-Eleven Crispy Rice Treat Bar. Now, interestingly, Rice Krispies in cereal form has been produced by Kellogg's since 1928. However, the home recipe for making your own Rice Krispie treats with marshmallows was invented in 1939 by Matilda Jensen and Mildred Day. And since then, people have been making their own Rice Krispies at home until 1995, when Kellogg's decided to produce Rice Krispie treats themselves commercially. I think I got all those details correct in one take. Yes! So for starters, we can see that there's a blank space here on the Rice Krispie bar that says, "So much to love about." So much to love about what? Let's see. I know what we're gonna write. Here we go. So much to love about Snack Gladiator. Aww. Okay, as usual, I'm going to start by throwing this on the scale, wrapper and all. Let me turn the scale on 1 second. Okay, so it looks like we have the Rice Krispie treat coming in at 36 grams. It's a whopper of a treat. And then we've got the 7-Eleven cereal bar here. And that is, whoa, 91 grams. What a whopper. So, I mean, clearly we can see that the 7-Eleven bar is significantly, my manager told me not to say thick anymore, so significantly less slim than the Rice Krispie treat. Anyway, let's go ahead and pop this open, starting with the Rice Krispie treat. I'm going to be judging them on aroma, texture, flavor, and aftertaste. So, opening the package right here. Okay, all right. I immediately get hit with the marshmallow sugary smell. Slightly, kind of has like a wheat sort of a grain-like smell as well in there. It's quite nice. Very, very pleasant, nice, light aroma. It's quite pleasing indeed. Now I'm going to open the 7-Eleven bar. And we'll compare the aroma. Oh, it's almost identical. Yeah, aroma-wise, they're pretty much exactly the same. I probably couldn't tell them apart if I was blindfolded. So that's on the aroma scale, it's a tie. Next, let's move on to texture and taste. And of course, to do that, we'll have to take them out of the wrapper because I'm not a fan of eating these with the peel on. They usually don't taste as good. So I highly recommend you take them out of the wrapper as well. It's probably easier to digest as well. So opening up the Rice Krispie treat, we can see it's coated with that nice marshmallow sort of glaze. I don't see any big chunks of marshmallow in here. However, it's just like a overall sort of almost looks like a glazing, if you will. It's stickier than a glazing, I know that, but it's not, if you compare it to the 7-Eleven bar, which we'll open in a moment, there's not actually any marshmallow chunks in this treat. Okay. Now I'm just gonna go ahead and take the 7-Eleven bar out of the wrapper here. Okay. And you can see that there are pretty big chunks of marshmallow scattered throughout the bar here. So that's something that's a little bit different from the Rice Krispie. It looks like with the Rice Krispie, it's almost more like a sort of liquid it's almost like melted marshmallow poured over the rice. Whereas here they actually left some of the little marshmallow chunks on the bar. So that's something a little bit different. Next, let's move on to taste and texture. And there's only one way to test that. Starting with the Rice Krispie bar right here. Okay, so you just want to go nice and slow so you don't get any cuts or ingrown hairs. So texture-wise, it's pretty sticky, but it is pretty easy to chew as well. It kind of breaks apart pretty easily in your mouth. So it's not like chewing a gummy bear or anything like that. That's pretty good, you know? I think a lot of us have tried the Rice Krispie bar, and we kind of know what to expect from it. But it tastes, I enjoyed that quite a lot. You know, simple, straightforward, doesn't have a super strong taste or anything, but it's just very satisfying. Next, let's move on to the 7-Eleven bar. Let's give it a taste. It's a pretty big one, so I'm just gonna break off a little chunk in case I want to share it later. I'm not gonna share it. All right, let's try it out. Oh, it is actually a little bit different. I think the 7-Eleven bar might have a little more of a pop to it. The cereal seems a little more airy. So when I'm biting into it, it seems to have a little bit more of like a pop to it. Not necessarily more crisp, not necessarily more crispacious than the Rice Krispie bar, but it's just a little bit, seems a little lighter. The cereal itself seems a little lighter, and the overall taste of the bar seems to be a little bit less sweet than the Rice Krispie. I'm gonna try the Rice Krispie one more time. In terms of nutrition, they're both pretty similar. The Rice Krispie comes in with 26 grams of sugar, and of course the 7-Eleven bar, being significantly larger, clocks in at 50 grams of sugar. That's a lot of sugar. So to kind of sum everything up, I think in terms of smell, taste, texture, and even aftertaste, they're both very similar. I don't think you could really go wrong either way. The Rice Krispie seems a little bit sweeter, and the cereal itself seems to have a little bit of a stronger taste than the 7-Eleven bar. But 7-Eleven bar does have those little wads of marshmallow, so that might make you prefer one or the other. But now it's time to decide a winner. And the winner of the Crispacious Treat Showdown is Kellogg's Rice Krispies Treats. I think it has a slightly better texture. I'm not a big fan of like airy things like those rice cracker type of things where you bite into it and it's mostly air. I think the Rice Krispie treat seems a little bit more dense, a little bit more solid than the other bar, not quite as airy. And then the cereal itself seems to have a slightly stronger taste, and it seems to be a little bit sweeter, which I actually do kind of prefer for this snack than the 7-Eleven bar. However, the 7-Eleven bar is still a great treat, definitely worth the money. I believe it's also a little bit cheaper than the Rice Krispie treat, so that might be something else to take into consideration. But either way you go, they're both great treats. I just have a slight preference for the OG, the Rice Krispie treat. So, have you tried both of these bars? Did I make the right call? Let me know in the comments below. And if you have any suggestions for future videos, I'd love to hear them. Please let me know as well. Thank you, and see you next time.